So, what if I told you there's a single powerful idea from Japan's Shinto tradition that could completely change how you see the world? I mean it, an idea so simple but also so profound that it could re-enchant everything you see every single day. Okay, let's just dive right into this. I want you to imagine for a second a worldview where everything, and I really mean everything, from a huge mountain to a tiny little pebble in a stream, from the wind blowing outside to maybe even the chair you're sitting on, is infused with a sacred presence, a world that isn't made of objects, but of beings. And here it is, this one line. This is going to be our guide for the next few minutes. It's like an ancient key that unlocks a totally different way of experiencing reality. The kami dwell in all things. So let's break down what that really means. Right. So where does a statement this monumental, even come from? This isn't some New Age philosophy. No. This idea is rooted deep in one of Japan's oldest and most foundational texts. It comes from the Kojiki, which translates to the record of ancient matters. And get this, it was written down in the 8th century. This text is an absolute cornerstone of Japanese culture. So when we read this line, we're hearing an echo from a worldview that's well over 1,000 years old. And that brings us to the first really crucial part of the phrase, This whole concept, it all hinges on understanding this one word. What exactly are these kami? So let's get a clear definition because honestly, getting this one word right is the heart of the whole thing. Our source material gives us this beautifully direct definition. Kami are sacred nature spirits. They are the essences, the energies that just animate the natural world around us. Now, here's what's really interesting. It's so easy to just translate kami as gods, but that doesn't quite get it right. It's not totally accurate. Think of it less like a pantheon of deities living up on a cloud somewhere, and more like the inherent spiritual quality, the sacredness that is already inside nature itself. Okay, so we have the kami, these sacred nature spirits. Now, let's tackle the second half of that amazing sentence. In all things. And the scope of this is, it's truly staggering when you think about it. You see, this isn't just a metaphor. When the Kojiki says all things, it means all things. Not just the beautiful, grand stuff, but the ordinary, the small, the things we think of as inanimate. The scope is total, absolutely everything. And this just illustrates the shift perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, we see a world of objects. A mountain is just rock. Wind is just air. It's a world that's separate from us, basically a collection of resources. But look at the other side. The world is completely transformed. Now a mountain has a spirit. The wind is a living presence. And a stream, it isn't just water anymore. It's sacred. So let's come back to our guiding quote one more time. The kami dwell in all things. After unpacking both parts, that sentence just lands with a whole new weight, right? It's not just some nice saying. It's a description of a world that is completely, totally alive. So, what does this all mean for us? What are the real implications here? How does adopting this ancient perspective actually affect us, here and now, in our daily lives? I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? If we start to see the world not as this inert backdrop for our lives, but as a community of sacred presences, how does that change our own place within it all? Well, the shift is profound. Suddenly, a mundane walk to the store becomes meaningful because you're literally surrounded by presence. A real relationship with your surroundings becomes possible. You're not just in a place, you're with it. Everything, from a river to an old tree, it all commands a level of respect. And maybe most importantly, you realize the world isn't separate from you. You're a part of this amazing web of sacred life. At the end of the day, it really just boils down to this fundamental reframing. The world stops being a warehouse of resources that are simply there for us to use, and it becomes a living presence to be respected, to be listened to, and to be experienced. And that's the thought I want to leave you with. If this sacred presence truly does dwell in all things, then the question isn't if it exists, but simply, where will you begin to look?